Hello and welcome to my downtown Chicago apartment. Welcome back to my channel, guys. If you are new to my channel, my name is Caira and I post videos all about Chicago, apartment living, downtown, Trader Joe's. It's a really good time and I highly recommend you hit that big red subscribe button. But for those of you who are coming back, you've probably been waiting for this video for a little while. We have been living in our current apartment for a month as of yesterday. So we have had time to finally get things put together, unpack, realize where we want everything, get it organized, and I have to say, I absolutely love this apartment. If you would have seen my last apartment tour, that apartment was an absolute showstopper. We had 16-foot floor-to-ceiling windows that were stunning, and I was afraid that no other apartment would ever compare. But I have to say, we moved into this place and I am deeply in love with this apartment. I think we've just set it up so well. It's so beautiful. I love our windows and our view, and just the overall space is everything I would want it to be. Let's go ahead and show you around. So starting off in my apartment, this is our kitchen. The kitchen is probably the most important part of an apartment to me. I absolutely love cooking, and I think the kitchen is probably where I put into the most decor as well. So again, in this kitchen, we have the same open shelves, which is phenomenal because we've had open shelves in all of our apartments here in Chicago. I just think it's such a great way to put things on display and make it super aesthetically pleasing while being super functional. Every single thing on our shelves behind us, we actually use. So it's all of our dishes. I use all of the spices and everything that's up above and all of those pantry goods in the jars as well. And I just love how it looks with the plants, and we have a couple like little sentimental pieces. I have some cookbooks up there and it's one of my favorites. This kitchen was a little bit harder for me to design because we didn't have a kitchen island. So we had to get a kitchen island for this one. This kitchen island came from IKEA. We actually bought it used off of one of my followers, which was amazing because we got it for a better price and we didn't have to build it. But having this has made all of the difference because we don't have a lot of storage in this kitchen. Our last kitchen had significantly more storage. So we had to get a little bit more creative. This kitchen island has storage on the back, so it holds all of our pots and pans. And I also have this cool little basket which holds all of Alex's snacks as well, which is great. And it's on little felt pads, so we can move it into the middle of the kitchen to make it more of like an island, not a peninsula, and have it be floating. Or most days we just leave it off to the side because I can still use it for all of my cooking needs, and it's still very, very functional there, but it gives us a little bit more like walking room around it. In the first corner on the fridge, I have a few magnets and just like a few photos up there. I don't love fridges that are like covered and stuff, especially like wedding invitations, that kind of thing. But I have a couple pictures up there of just Alex and I that I think are really sweet and sentimental, and this cute little Polaroid of Louis that I took the other day where I just think he looks so small and adorable. Dishwasher, very basic. We keep this magnet on it that shows if the dishes in it are dirty or clean, which is really, really helpful if somebody runs it, just that way you know if you're grabbing something out if it's clean or dirty. Our coffee area, this was like a work in progress. We actually got like a $600 coffee machine for Christmas last year as a Christmas present and hated it. So we ended up returning that and getting this coffee machine from Ninja, which is phenomenal. It makes cold brew and does tea and iced tea, and I just love it. We use it all the time. It also has a milk frother on the side, which is great, but I have a like standalone milk frother that I use every single day because I love making oat milk lattes, and this has become like really habitual for me, and like I have to start my morning with an oat milk latte. I also love, I feel like this is kind of cute, hanging my bananas on this little part of the open shelves. I think it's a cute way to display them, and also it helps them ripen there where I'm not sticking them in the fridge and I don't just have bananas laying on my countertop. In front of the sink, we keep our dish soap in this hand pump, which is super easy. We use it also on our hands, I don't care, but that way we don't have like a bottle of dish soap laying out because I feel like that's usually not super cute. And then we have our smeg and our bowl of kitchen utensils. Typically, I would love to keep my kitchen utensils in a drawer. I don't love them on display, but we just did not have enough space in this apartment, so I had to put them somewhere. And I think they actually look pretty nice in there in the clear jar. I'm pretty sure that's supposed to be a vase. I got it from IKEA, but I don't do flowers. I do kitchen utensils. I also then just have one wooden cutting board. I don't do a lot of wooden cutting boards because I feel like they warp every time I wash them, and I just don't take care of them well enough. But currently I have some fresh sourdough bread, so I leave that on my wooden cutting board and that stays out. And then we actually do have a gas range stove in this apartment, which is really, really nice. It's a 5-burner gas range stove, which is great because I love to cook, and so having gas is always preferred. And then in the corner, we keep our paper towels. I have this big jar of olive oil because I use it every single time I cook, so it's really easy to just grab. And then this vintage clock that I don't really know where it should go, but it lives there for now and it's fine. It's one of those pieces I just didn't want to get rid of, and I just didn't feel like it had a home, and I feel like it looks like fine there. And then one of the other best things we've done was we didn't have anywhere to put our knife block in any drawers in this apartment. So we got one of those magnetic knife strips from IKEA where it's magnetic and puts them up there. I can't believe I hadn't had one of these before. This is like the best thing ever. And I have these little like metal hooks from our pegboard that we had extras of. So I just threw one of those up there, and I keep my silicone oven heat pad things up there as well, so I know where they are. But I love that thing. I think it's so functional. Up on top of all of our kitchen cabinets is where we keep all of our plants, and those are my pride and joy. Luckily, our ceilings are really, really tall in here too. My guess is that the ceilings are probably 11 feet or 12 feet, something like that. They're not 16, but they're still really, really high, which is great because we have this giant monstera plant. And honestly, if we didn't have really high ceilings, I don't know what we would do with it, because that thing is like 3.5 feet in diameter. It's huge. So it lives above our fridge, which is perfect. And then we just have a bunch of other plants, a peace lily, an orchid, a rubber tree, a pineapple, a money tree, pilea. Those all live up there. And what's really cool is Alex actually set it up so that way we have plant lights up there, but he tucked them like into the ceiling. And now we renamed our Alexa, but if we say, Ziggy, plant lights on. Okay. They turn on, and I think that's really cool. Ziggy, plant lights off. Okay. Here on the windowsill in the kitchen, we have these really, really oversized windows, which is really nice. It brings in so much natural light into this apartment, which I love. But we just have some little plants. So this is like our little propagation station. So here we have part of our pilea, which we had to trim and trim down, and so she lives there. We have another little like beaker shot glass, which currently has another pilea and a succulent that broke off from like a bigger succulent that we had. We have a little bunny ear cactus, which I think is so cute. And we also keep our Alexa there, and then we just have like two little tiny frames. One of them is a cheesy love letter that I wrote to Alex in French because he was learning French, and so I had someone help me translate it. And then also Alex drew a picture of Louis for me, which is just like very minimal and very cute, and I just think it's so cute. So we leave that on the windowsill as well. Welcome to our office area. I think this is purely the reason why I love this apartment so much, because we did not have anything like this in our last apartment. Alex had a desk in the last apartment which he shared with the TV, but I never had anywhere to work except for like the kitchen island, and now we have like a designated workspace, and it is my favorite thing. So this desk we got off of Amazon. It could also be a corner desk, but we built it to be like a two-person desk, which works really well for us. Mine has storage on the side. We actually took the shelves out of the side for Alex's because he has a desktop computer that he built himself, like a gamer PC thing, and so that lives where his shelves would be. But I love it on my side because it gives me plenty of space for all of my organization to be able to keep things out of the way, and then it also is like a place that like properly houses his PC, which is great. I got these hooks from IKEA. It was like 5 hooks for $1, and I put these under the desk as well. They hold both his headphones and they hold my work bag. So those are great because we can just tuck those out of the way. They don't have to like sit on top of the desk when we're not working, because I really love to leave this space really minimal. Up top, we have all sorts of cords and chargers going through. My computer charger is here. I always leave my laptop here with my notebook, my phone, and then the only other things I leave on the desk are my giant half-gallon bottle of water. This is great for me because when I'm sitting here for hours, I need to have it. Otherwise, I literally will not drink water all day long. I also always keep a candle burning on the desk. Something about like lighting a candle just really puts me in like a focused mood. And then I also got one of those like 3-in-1 charging ports. Honestly, I think they're so cringy. Like, I don't really know the definition of chuggy, but I feel like that would be the definition of chuggy. But it's so much nicer to me than having like just a bunch of loose cords. And I did need somewhere to charge my AirPods and my Apple Watch and my phone, and we have that one with a lightning charger, which is great. And so just to be able to house everything in one place instead of having a bunch of stuff laying out is amazing to me. Alex has his 2 monitors. One of them is like an ultra wide curved monitor. The other one goes vertically. He is able to look at so much stuff over there. It's phenomenal, but it gives him a separated workspace, which feels really intentional. And then I just have more of like an open space on my side because that's what I prefer. We got these matching chairs from Target, and honestly, they're really comfortable and I was really happy with them. They're dining chairs, but they work well. I think at some point we should probably invest in getting like computer chairs, but I just think computer chairs are so ugly that for now, these work great. Another part of our like office space that I absolutely love is this area. So we got these 2 pegboards from IKEA with tons of different accessories on them. So we house all of our cords over there. Because of what we do, we have so many tripods and cords and webcams and mics and all sorts of different things that we needed to put somewhere to keep it organized. And I think that this, even though it looks a little bit chaotic, because it's also so functional, I'm obsessed with it. And we can walk over and everything is right there for us to be able to grab grab really, really easily. This is also where we keep our acrylic calendar. We had this in our last apartment and I got so many compliments on it. We got this one off of Amazon too. I see them on Etsy all the time as well. You can totally customize them. I think they make a really great wedding present. You can put last names and stuff on them, but ours is very simple. It doesn't have anything except for just the calendar and then like a notes section if we ever have things that we need to add on to there. But I love this because we can put up like when we're going on trips and things. This is where we house bigger events that we're both involved in, so that way we can look at the calendar and be like, oh, we're gonna be out of town on that date. It's also just nice to be able to turn around and reference and constantly know like, oh, that's a Sunday, and not have to look at my phone for the calendar all the time. And not to mention, I think it's a really, really pretty piece. As we continue making our way through the apartment, on this side of the kitchen island, we have these two stools. I get asked about these a lot too. These we bought used off of Facebook Marketplace. They originally came from At Home. We've had them for a few years now. They're comfortable, they swivel, we use them a lot. It works great. We don't really need to replace them at this point. Moving into the living room. So as you can see, the desk like backs right up to the couch, which is really great because we often use the TV as a third monitor for Alex if we're putting something up there too. And so we can sit here, but I feel like it also breaks up the space so everything feels a little bit more intentional. But this is our living room. So we have our couch. This is a green velvet couch that came from Home Reserve. I'm obsessed with this couch. We got it this year and it's really, really great because it's a modular couch. So every single piece is individual. You buy them separately. So I love that for an apartment because right now we have it pretty small. Our couch very comfortably sits 4 people and we have 2 ottomans that go to it so we can make it into like a full queen size bed. But what's really great about it is if we move into a bigger place and we want more couch, we can add just more pieces to it instead of having to buy a whole new couch. Also, all of the covers on it are both washable, so they all pull off and you can wash them, but you can also get different covers for it. So if one day we decide we don't want a green couch anymore and we want a white couch or something, we can buy new covers, which I think is great. And the last thing about this couch, which I am absolutely obsessed with, is every single piece has storage. So not only do the ottomans have storage, but underneath every single seat, there is also storage. So we're able to keep extra blankets, our guest bedding, just random stuff that we don't need out, all tucked away in those, which is super handy. Behind the couch, we also have these 2 massive pillows. And when I say massive, like they are ridiculously huge, but those are really great. Those are from Home Reserve as well. And we will use those every once in a while if we have a bunch of friends staying over, which we've done. And we'll put those on the floor and they make like little mattresses for people as well. We also keep a blanket on top of there just to kind of keep it out of the way. And it's like Louis' favorite place to sleep, which is so cute. Sorry about the sirens. I live downtown. We also have this big lamp over the couch. This is from IKEA as well. And we got an Amazon light bulb for it. So that way now I can say, Ziggy, couch light red. And it does it. And I think it's so satisfying. So every once in a while we'll like mix that up and do things like if we're watching a movie to make it themed, or when the Suns game was playing, we had it as orange. I just think it's a fun little touch. And then we always get questions on our neon light. This was a custom neon light we got from Etsy. We got it from Free Fly Goods. It wasn't sponsored or anything. It was one of the first things we got when we moved to Chicago, but they were really great to work with because every single thing was completely custom. So we got to make up the skyline ourselves. We got to decide on the backing, the color, everything. And for the price, I feel like I thought neon signs were like $1,000. Ours was $300, which was still like a good chunk of change, but for how much we use it and what a statement piece it is, it was the best thing we could have gotten. I'm absolutely obsessed with this neon sign. In the corner, we just have this little table. I actually got this table from a trash room. Someone was throwing it away and I thought it looked really cool. And so I put some new knobs on it, took it up here, and we've had it for a while now. But that lives in the corner. And then we put our fiddle leaf on the corner over there. We also have a plant light that's tucked behind the TV. So that way we can have that plant light on and you don't have to see it, and it can shine on the fiddle leaf because fiddle leaves do need a lot of sunlight. And I just don't know that it would survive very well in this apartment without it. The TV is actually on Alex's dresser. So that's one thing we always kind of struggle with, is we are both dresser people. So we keep all of our clothes in dressers, not really closets as much. And so our bedroom didn't have a ton of space for dressers. So Alex's lives out here, but honestly, this is how it was in our studio, and loved it because I think it's an easy way to put the TV somewhere without having like a media console, which I think is just like a wasted piece of furniture. But here he's able to keep all of his clothes out here and it just makes a lot more sense. And then next to the TV is this other little baby Monstera. It's a different type of Monstera than the one that we have over the fridge, but this Monstera is growing like crazy. I actually just ordered command hooks because I'm actually gonna take these sticks out of this one and put it against the wall so that way it grows up the wall instead of like growing up the sticks, because it's kind of outgrown that. But I think it's such a pretty plant and I love how happy it is here. I also want to show from this angle. So we have this full mirror from IKEA here. This mirror is the best. We got it for our last apartment and I love it. It's the biggest and best priced mirror I was able to find, but I love it here because like, is this not the best selfie mirror you've ever seen? We also have this little string of hearts here, which has grown so long that we put it up the mirror, which I think is a really pretty added touch. And then on this windowsill, we have a couple other plants, just a string of pearls, another spider plant, a little baby spider plant that's propagating, another purple plant that I don't know what it is that's propagating, and then just a general pothos, which is growing doing really well too. Welcome to the bedroom. We have actually kept our bedroom pretty minimal, but I really like our bedroom because it gets so much beautiful natural light. I honestly wish this apartment was a studio and it didn't have the wall separating the bedroom from the living room, because the apartment would be so much brighter and would have so much more light. But all the same, the bedroom is very pretty. So this is our bed. We have a queen size bed. We do not have a headboard on it, but I do have it up on a extra tall bed frame. This is really important because we do store a lot of things under our bed. So right now we have a Christmas tree, we have our winter clothes. At this point, we probably do have enough closets that we could get rid of the things down under there, but we've had it for so long, it's just fine and it's out of the way, and then we can have the closets be more empty for if we need to store more things in the future. I often get asked a lot of questions about this Chicago pillow as well. I got it from a thrift store. I do not know where it came from originally, but it's like really thickly woven wool, which I think is really cool, and I love that piece in here. We have 3 big windows in this bedroom, which is really nice, and we have plants on each one. So 2 of them have a pilea because our pileas are just growing like crazy, and then the other one is a ZZ plant. In the corner here, I have another mirror that I'll use for selfies. This is nice because I'll come out and like check my outfit here because my closet's in the bedroom, and we leave this snake plant on the floor. This mirror is significantly smaller. I don't know that you can really tell on camera, but this one came from Target, and honestly it was the same price as the giant one out there, so I love that mirror so much more. On my side of the bed, we don't have bedside tables, but I do have this extra ottoman that goes with our couch, which we'll use out there sometimes, but we leave it in here a lot. This is really great because I will use that as a bedside table, and I'll leave like my book or a glass of water or something on there. Louis will use that to jump onto the bed because I do sleep with him because I love my puppy dog so very much, but also it has extra storage in there as well, which is amazing. On this side is my dresser. This dresser we got off Facebook Marketplace. It was $30, and then I added on these gold peg legs on the bottom, which I think really elevated the piece and made it look so much nicer. We also added this mirror on top. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not like in love with it, but I think it's like decently cool enough that I've left it for now. We have our fan, which we sleep with for white noise every single night, because you can probably hear it right now. We do live above the trains and it's decently loud. It doesn't bother me at all, but I do like sleeping to white noise regardless. And then also just 2 candlesticks because they're really pretty. And then this light, both the light and the fan, we've also connected to Alexa, which is great because I love turning on the fan once I'm already in bed and I don't want to climb back out to go turn it on. And then the light is really nice, and I always leave this one in the orange color because I think it's really pretty and comforting to go to sleep to. We also have one more plant in here, and this plant has been super happy in here as well. So I love all of the greenery we've been able to put into this room. We also leave a dog bed for Louis in here because when we're not in the apartment, we usually put him in the bedroom. Otherwise, he'll literally put his little face up against the front door and will just cry. And so he has his dog bed in here so that way he can snuggle up in that when we're gone. So this is my closet behind me. Alex has his own that's in the hallway, which I'll show in a second. Honestly, it's not super exciting. I don't have a lot of clothes, so my closet is very empty, but it's fine. We have more storage space than we need in this current apartment, which is a good problem to have. But it is nice that it's a walk-in, and I have this clothes hanging rack, which we leave on the door, which is really great because when I have things that I want to dry, like my workout clothes and things like that, that I don't want to put into the dryer, this folds down and I can just hang all of the clothes on here instead of having them be in the living room, because we really are not in our bedroom at all except for to sleep. That's why I kind of like having studios more. Moving on to our hallway. So this is our front door. This is like our entryway hallway. We have 2 full-size closets here, which is really great. This one is for Alex. We put all of his clothes in there. It also houses his golf clubs and things, which is awesome because those have always been a pain to try and shove somewhere in a studio. But the fact that we have this huge closet is awesome. And then the front closet had no shelving in it whatsoever. So we got a big shelving piece from IKEA, and that's been great because in there we house a bunch of like storage tubs with our Christmas stuff, and then anything that I'm using for PR, dog food for Louis. Tons of stuff lives in that front closet, which we just didn't have space for in any of our previous apartments. We also have this runner rug down the middle of the hallway. I like it. I don't love it. I don't know if I want to leave it there, but for now I think it's a cute little cozy piece. The only other things I want to point out from the hallway is at the front we do still have our coat rack. We had this in our last apartment, and even though we had that second closet that we could use for a coat closet, I love having a coat rack because I hate putting things on hangers, and to be able to just shove something over a hook is super easy for me, and we really did need the space to be able to put our shoes and stuff too. We also do have a full-size washer and dryer in this apartment, which is really great, and we got this little tiny shelving unit from IKEA. It was $10 and it fits perfectly next to the washer and dryer, so that way we can put all of our detergents, our steamer, our lint roll, all those types of weird things in there, and they're out of the way. The last place for me to show off to you is my bathroom. I honestly hate filming in this bathroom because I think the lighting is horrible. But we have a really well-sized shower. Our shower is bigger than our last apartment in this one. I do still keep the eucalyptus in the shower because I think it's so pretty and it does smell really good. We have hooks over the back of the door, so we have our towels there, and I keep my robe there, as well as a rack where we're able to keep extra towels too. We have a lot more towels than that we now keep in the extra closet, so that way when we have guests come over and stuff, I can pull those out for them. We keep our laundry basket in here, which is great because I'm right next door to the laundry, so I can just pull that stuff out really easily. And then again, we have the 2 drawers and 2 shelves for all of our extra stuff in the bathroom. I try and keep our bathroom as minimal as possible. I don't like a lot of things in the bathroom. I think it looks a lot better just being like clean and minimal, but that's just me. All right, guys, so that is going to wrap up my apartment tour. I hope you enjoyed it. I love this apartment. I'm so happy with how everything came together. I think it's such a functional space. It's such a pretty space. It feels so cozy, and I'm really, really, really happy with it. I hope you liked this video. If you have any questions about anything, feel free to comment down below. I'll try and put links for as much as I can into the description box for you. But if there's anything that I missed, definitely let me know, and I'd love to send that over to you. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. And of course, if you haven't already, hit that big red subscribe button. I post tons of apartment videos, and I would love for you to see more of them. Lastly, be sure to go over and follow me on Instagram too. I post a lot of content over there and a lot of fun giveaways and stuff, so you'll want to check that out as well. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.